Imagine you're walking down a high school hallway, minding your own business, when Bam juice splashes all over your shirt and the bullies are laughing in your face. But what if the tables turned and one of those bullies ended up crying in a trash can? Stick with me for a wild ride of revenge, redemption, and jaw-dropping twists that'll keep you glued to your screen. If you love epic comebacks and stories that hit you right in the feels, smash that subscribe button right now and join our community of story lovers across the USA and UK. Let's dive in. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead in the crowded halls of Westbridge High, a sprawling school in suburban Ohio where cliques ruled and reputations were currency. It was a Thursday in late September, the air thick with the scent of cheap cologne and cafeteria pizza, when 16-year-old Mia Harper shuffled toward her locker, her worn sneakers squeaking against the linoleum. Mia was nobody's idea of popular. Her oversized thrift store sweaters, frizzy brown hair, and tendency to bury her nose in sci-fi novels made her an easy target. She was used to the whispers, the occasional shove in the hallway, but nothing prepared her for what was about to happen. As she fumbled with her locker combination, a cold, sticky wave of orange juice splashed across her chest, soaking her favorite gray sweater. Laughter erupted like a grenade. Standing in front of her were the Sparkle Squad, Westbridge's untouchable trio of mean girls. Kaylee Reynolds, with her glossy blonde ponytail and designer backpack, Tara Voss, whose smirk could cut glass, and Hannah Decker, the quiet but the vicious one who always lingered at the edges, her eyes glinting with malice. Kaylee held an empty juice carton, her lips curled in mock innocence. "Oops," she said, tossing the carton at Mia's feet. "Guess you should watch where you're going, freak show." The hallway roared with laughter from onlookers' phones, already out, recording Mia's humiliation. Her face burned as she clutched her soaked sweater, the juice dripping onto her jeans. She wanted to disappear, to melt into the floor, but instead, she grabbed her books and bolted for the bathroom. The Sparkle Squad's cackles chasing her like wolves. Mia locked herself in a stall, her breath hitching as she fought back tears. This wasn't the first time the Sparkle Squad had targeted her last month. They'd accidentally dumped her lunch tray in the cafeteria, and the month before, they'd spread a rumor she was secretly in love with Mr. Grayson, the creepy math teacher. But this juice incident felt different, sharper, like a line had been crossed. Mia wasn't just embarrassed, she was angry. She peeled off her sweater, revealing a faded Star Wars t-shirt underneath, and scrubbed at the stain with paper towels. Her mind racing, why her? Why always her? She wasn't weak, not really. She'd survived her parents' messy divorce, her mom's late-night shifts at the diner, and her little brother's endless hospital visits for his asthma. She was tougher than she looked, but the Sparkle Squad didn't see that. To them, she was just a punching bag. As she stared at her reflection in the smudged bathroom mirror, something shifted inside her. Enough was enough. Mia wasn't going to let Kaylee, Tara, and Hannah walk all over her anymore. But she wasn't going to. Fight fire with fire, she was smarter than that. She'd hit them where it hurt most, their perfect, polished reputations. Mia spent the rest of the day plotting. It wasn't the confrontational type, but she was observant. And she'd noticed things about the Sparkle Squad that nobody else seemed to care about. Kaylee, the ringleader, was obsessed with her image as Westbridge's Golden Girl cheer captain, homecoming queen, candidate, and daughter of the town's mayor. But Mia had seen Kaylee slip a flask into her bag during gym class, and she'd overheard her bragging about cheating on her history exam. Tara, the group's enforcer, was all bravado, but Mia had caught her crying in the library last week, muttering about her dad's new girlfriend. And Hannah? Hannah was the wild card. She rarely spoke, but Mia had seen her scribbling furiously in a notebook during study hall, hiding it whenever anyone got close. If Mia could expose their secrets, she could dismantle their power. But she needed a plan, something airtight that wouldn't backfire. That night, curled up on her bed with her cat Nebula purring beside her, Mia opened her laptop and started digging. Social media was her first stop. Kaylee's Instagram was a curated shrine to perfection: selfies in cheer uniforms, beach vacations, and #blessed captions. But Mia noticed something odd. In one photo, Kaylee was holding a vape pen, barely visible in the corner of the frame. It was a small detail, but Westbridge had a zero-tolerance policy for vaping. Kaylee's dad had just run a campaign promising to clean up the school. Mia screenshot the image, her heart pounding. Next, she searched for Tara's X account was public, filled with snarky comments and memes, but buried in her likes was a thread about a local tattoo parlor. Mia remembered Tara wearing long sleeves all week, even in the muggy September heat. A hunch led her to cross-reference the tattoo parlor's Instagram, where she found a story highlighting a new client's ink butterfly on her wrist that looked suspiciously like Tara's. Tattoos were another no-no at Westbridge, especially for someone under 18. As for Hannah, Mia hit a wall. Her social media was locked down, and the only clue was that notebook. Mia needed to get closer to Hannah, but that would take time. The next day, Mia returned to school with a plan. She'd start small, gathering evidence while pretending nothing had changed. She let the Sparkle Squad's taunts slide, keeping her head down but her eyes sharp. In English class, she volunteered to be Hannah's partner for a group project, claiming it was because they both liked sci-fi. Hannah eyed her warily but agreed, and over the next week, Mia played the part of the eager collaborator, asking about Hannah's favorite books while subtly steering conversations toward her personal life. Hannah was guarded, but one day, while they were working in the library, she left her notebook unattended for a moment. Mia's stomach churned with guilt, but she flipped it open. Betrayal and a mother who'd left when Hannah was 10. One poem mentioned the Queen's secrets, with lines about stolen answers and a bottle in her bag. It was about Kaylee, and Mia's pulse raced. Hannah wasn't just a follower, she was a ticking time bomb, resentful of Kaylee's control, but too scared to break free. Mia's plan began to take shape. She'd use Hannah's poetry to expose Kaylee's cheating and drinking, but she needed concrete proof. She started tailing Kaylee after school, keeping her distance as she followed her to cheer practice. One evening, she saw Kaylee sneak behind the bleachers with a senior named Jake, who handed her a small bottle of vodka. Mia snapped a photo with her phone, the flash off to avoid detection. The next day, she hacked into the school's anonymous tips system, a trick she'd learned from a coding club friend, and submitted the vape pen screenshot and the vodka photo, along with a tip about Kaylee's history exam cheating. She didn't mention Hannah's poetry yet. That was her ace in the hole. Within hours, the school was buzzing. Principal Carter called Kaylee into his office, and by lunch, whispers spread that she'd been suspended from cheer and was facing a disciplinary hearing. The Sparkle Squad was rattled, but Tara and Hannah doubled down, cornering Mia in the cafeteria and accusing her of snitching. "You're dead, Fricho," Tara hissed, shoving Mia's tray onto the floor. Mia just smiled, her confidence growing. She was done being afraid. But the plan wasn't perfect. Kaylee's suspension only made her angrier, and she redirected her fury at Mia. The next morning, Mia found her locker vandalized, the word snitch scrawled across it in red marker. Her classmates shunned her, and even her best friend, Leo, a lanky band kid with a heart of gold, warned her to back off. "Kaylee's dad is powerful, Mia," he said, adjusting his glasses nervously. "You're playing with fire." But Mia was too deep to stop. She doubled down, focusing on Tara. She'd noticed Tara's new tattoo was still healing, red and scabby under her sleeve. Mia sent another anonymous tip, this time with the tattoo parlor's Instagram story and a note about Tara's age. By the end of the week, Tara was called to the principal's office too. Her parents were furious she'd gotten the tattoo without their permission, and the school issued a week-long suspension for violating the code of conduct. The Sparkle Squad was crumbling, but Mia knew Hannah was the key to finishing it. Mia invited Hannah to her house under the guise of finishing their English project. Over pizza and Mountain Dew, she gently prodded Hannah about her poetry, complimenting her writing without revealing she'd read it. Hannah softened, admitting she felt trapped in Kaylee's orbit. "She's not who everyone thinks she is," Hannah muttered, her fingers twisting a napkin. Mia saw her chance. "What if you could get out?" she asked. "What if you could show everyone the real Kaylee?" Hannah froze, her eyes wide. Mia didn't push further. She knew Hannah needed time. But the next day, Hannah slipped her a USB drive in the hallway. "Don't tell anyone it was me," she whispered. On the drive was a video, Kaylee, drunk at a party, laughing about how she'd paid a nerd to take her sats. Mia's hand shook as she watched. This was bigger than a school suspension. This could ruin Kaylee's future. Mia debated what to do. Part of her wanted to post the video online, let it go viral and destroy Kaylee's reputation. But that felt too cruel, too much like becoming the bully herself. Instead, she sent the video to Principal Carter anonymously, along with a note suggesting he check Kaylee's SAT records. The fallout was swift. Kaylee's scores were flagged, her college applications were put on hold, and her dad's political campaign took a hit when the story leaked to the local paper. Kaylee was humiliated, her perfect facade shattered. But the final twist came during lunch the following week. Tara, furious at her own suspension and blaming Kaylee for dragging her into the mess, confronted her in the cafeteria. The argument escalated, and Tara, in a fit of rage, grabbed a juice carton from a nearby table and splashed it over Kaylee's pristine white blouse. The cafeteria went silent. Kaylee screamed, her face red with fury and embarrassment, and in a blind panic, she shoved Tara backward right into a trash can. Tara hit the metal rim, toppled in, and burst into tears, her tough girl act dissolving, as garbage spilled around her. The crowd erupted, some laughing, others filming. Mia watched from the edge, her heart pounding. She hadn't planned this, but it felt like justice. In the weeks that followed, the Sparkle Squad dissolved. Kaylee transferred to a private school, her family's reputation tarnished. Tara quit cheer and started hanging out with the art kids, her tough exterior softening. Hannah, freed from Kaylee's grip, joined the poetry club and even thanked Mia quietly one day. Mia never told anyone she'd orchestrated it. She didn't need the credit. She'd learned something about herself. She was stronger than she'd ever realized. She didn't need to be loud or cruel to win. Bridge High felt different now, like the air was lighter. Mia still wore her thrift store sweaters, but she walked with her head high, her sci-fi novels tucked under her arm like a badge of honor. Wow. What a roller coaster, right? Mia turned the tables on the Sparkle Squad without throwing a single punch talk about a mastermind. If you loved this story of revenge, redemption, and epic comebacks, give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to join our storytelling. Family, we've got more drama, twists, and heart-pounding moments coming your way. Oh, and I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop a comment with your city, whether you're in the USA, UK, or beyond, and let me know your favorite sport. Mine's basketball. Nothing beats a buzzer beater. See you in the next video.